Alright, welcome to Lwdl Season 2. Finally excited to start this. I just recorded this whole video and realized that the recording wasn't on. So, try number 2. Let's get cracking. Big shout out to Mohammed and KorokCorrosion for getting this going. I'm going to be showcasing a couple different things. KorokCorrosion and Mohammed worked on the draft doc that we're going to look at right now. And then Chris worked really hard at something else that we're going to show you just after the doc. But this season is going to be a lot more streamlined, so big shout out to those three. And also Colby. I love the staff team, and I love everyone that's really helped get this season going. I know we're a little far behind the original schedule due to some life circumstances, but here we are. We're about to start. Right, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour of the new doc. Because I think it is a lot more streamlined and a lot more. I think it's gonna be a lot easier for drafters this season. All right, but without further ado, let's get cracking. Rules change. Rules page is going to change. This is a copy paste from another league, but these will change. And also with that, I'll say that there are some things that are subject to change. Like I need to update some logos, some names, etc. But I wanted to give you guys something. So there are a few things that are going to change, but as of this is pretty much what you're going to get, right? We're going to skip over match slip because that's what I want to talk about last. But your draft board will function just like a normal draft league. You're not getting any leaks looking at this here because we're playing Regulation F with a ban list. Not all of these Pokemon are going to be legal. Plus, we're going to have a custom banning system, so some of these Pokemon are going to be taken away. This is just kind of what we have in the draft board as like a copy paste, right? This is where you're going to see your first show of the new coaches this season. We have Elena, Mr. B, KorokCorrosion, Rockwell, Undead Paradox, Chris, Daddy Sama, Jack of Spades, AJ, Cheeseboy, LumiShen, Ivan, Oxygen, CJ, Hawk the Wanderer, and I don't know her. Y'all made the cut. We had 16 signups. I didn't have to cut anybody or make second divisions. But here are your six trainers, your 6 coaches. Right now it does say 120. I'm going to give you guys 150, I think. But again, subject to change based on what we have available to us. But with an increase in points comes an increase in how much certain Pokemon are worth, right? So subject to change, but we're going to still have the 9 to 11 Pokemon, minimum 9, max 11. And this also is not your draft order. So don't think that because you're looking at this right now that you get the first or the last pick, or that you're got the bad RNG and got center of the draft. This has not been shuffled yet. So your Pokemon will show up here. How much points they are, how much you have left, all that will automatically update just like any other draft that uses a document like this. This is empty, but all your transactions will be here. So I'm not playing, but say I would say actually, I have to be because it has to be here to work with the doc. So let's say AJ, because he's the easiest one to type. Say A. Is it a capital? No. Yes. AJ drops Pikachu and picks up Ditto. Right? And then free agent. Alright, so free agency. AJ dropped Pikachu, picked up Ditto. And then let's do a trade. Right? Same thing. AJ takes Ditto and trades it for Drampa from Jack of Spades, man. Alright, so there are 2 transactions here. There's a trade and a free agency pickup, right? Notice that these numbers changed. These are your draft points. You have 5 for the season. That's not going to change. So Jack of Spades man made a transaction and AJ made 2. So AJ has 3 left. Jack of Spades man has 4 left. You are only allowed to make 1 transaction per week. That is not changing. So use them kind of strategically. All right. So that's how this is going to work. You guys don't have to touch this page. This page is strictly for us staff to update when transactions happen. Transactions will still be made in the transactions channel in the Discord. Staff will update this sheet so that you guys can like look at your transactions and you can look at other people's transactions. So you guys will have access to look at this but not edit this. All right. Same with the draft and the draft board. Standings, these will update as you win and lose your games. A 2-0 is 3 points. A 2-1 is 2 points, etc. The schedule, this is your schedule. You need this page to fill out your match slip. The match slip is going to work a lot differently, but a lot simpler than what we had before. So make sure you always check your schedule and like what week you are, and then you have to count what number match you are, and we'll jump into that in a second. The match stat v2 page, again, not for you guys to touch. This is going to auto populate with the match slip. Once the match slip is submitted, this will update and we'll show you that, and I'll show you that too, right? Pokemon stats will auto populate based on your games. The MVP race will auto-populate based on games. And playoffs will auto-populate based on games. We are going to do an... I forget if we're doing 8 or 10 week. I'm not going to lie. This is my second time recording this, so like my brain's already fuzzy. But I believe it's 8. I believe it's 8 weeks with a top 8. But that's also subject to change. Maybe 10 weeks. I think 8 though. 8 sounds right. And then there'll be a top 8. So, how do you submit your match slip? You click on match slip. You type what Pokemon you brought. But before you do that, see how it says week 1, match 1? So, let's go into our schedule. And let's do a week 1 match. And let's say we're doing Jack of Spades Man versus Mr. B. That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 7th match. So we go into our match slip. Week 1, match 7. It'll automatically update to Jack of Spades Man versus Mr. B. You double click here to change the date. We'll say that we played today. It doesn't actually matter, but it does for us. Because you have 1 week to get your matches done. And then you have to put down your kills. Let's just say bump, 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 bump. We'll make it real easy right now. 3 kills, 4 deaths, right? You select. So the last sheet from last season would auto-populate who won based on a differential of kills and deaths. That is not an accurate way to do things, obviously, because there are techs in the game like Paris Trap or like Revival Blessing that might make it so that you have a differential in like how many mons you lost, but you still technically won the game, right? So you select this whoever won, right? You won game 1, and then let's say we have the same exact situation game 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, right? Same thing, 2 games in a row. You won 2-0. You click save. It runs the script. And then you go over to match stats. And you go over to game 7. And it automatically updates. Alright? So you literally don't have to do anything. Now, when we go to... what page? I'm still learning this too, BT dubs. I promise it's somewhere. Schedule. See how in the black here it says OTS and OTS, or it's in the blue but typed in black. It says OTS. I can't click those right now, but once you fill out the Google form, which I'll show you in a second, these will be clickable. Alright? Which means You don't have to submit your match slips to me, Colby, or Chris. It'll automatically be uploaded into this doc for everyone to view. And it won't be... And you can even do it before your match. And it won't be submitted until after you click save on match slip. All right. So say your team's ready to go like the Tuesday before your Wednesday match. You could still submit the OTS, but it will not post on the Google Sheet until you click save here. All right. Now, how do you submit your OTS? There will be in the Docs channel, or whatever it's called now. I think it's still Docs channel. This is a link to the Google form, right? It'll say LWDL Season 2 OTS submissions. You click who you are. So we'll say these are just like test names because it's not actually linked to it yet, but it will be by the time we start. You click who you are. You click what week it is. Not the finals, week 5. And then you put your PokePaste here, your OTS PokePaste link here. And then after you click submit, it will automatically go here for a clickable link, and you will be able to check OTSs here every time automatically. So there will be the new rule that you don't have to send it before your match if you don't want, but you do have to send it by the end of the week. So I highly recommend sending it in with your match slip. All right, or at least send it in either while you're doing your match slip or send it in before. But always use the Google form. Don't just send it to me, Chris, or Colby anymore. It is much easier if you just do it with this. That way you only have to open this and the Google Doc or the Google Sheet instead of opening 3 different things, which is how we had it last season. I feel like last season we had you guys running in all these different directions for like the simplest things that didn't really matter. So we're trying it this way this season. Post your PokePaste here, your OTS, and then fill out your match slip, and then it will populate. Everything will populate by itself on the Google Sheet. I don't believe I missed out on anything, but just in case I did, feel free to ask questions. I'm also going to be updating the let's delete all this. I'm also going to be updating the new rule book, which I'll be posting later this week. But that's how our doc's gonna work, and that's how our team submission's gonna work. Obviously, if you have any feedback, questions, concerns, let me know. But I want to jump into the other thing that I'm really excited about, which is we're going to be banning some Pokemon as of right now. As of the upload of this video, you can now ban Pokemon, or at least suggest that they get banned. So we're going to move over here to Discord, right? And you guys can't, I mean, you guys will be able to see this, but at the time of recording, you can't see this. We have 2 new channels here. Actually, my face is in the way. We have ban voting and ban discussion. Ban voting is not for conversations. Ban discussion is for conversations. All right? So, I'm sure some people, hopefully all of you, saw that we have a new member to our Discord server called the LostBot. LostBot was made by Chris, so big round of applause and thank you to Chris for setting this up. And I'm going to show you how to use it. And Chris will post the list of other commands too, but this is strictly for voting, right? So you're going to go vote, and then you type in your Pokemon. So let's say we want to ban Urshifu, Rapid Strike. Oh, actually, so please send the command in bot testing. We're going to fix this, but I'll show you in our test channel, all right? We're going to go vote, Urshifu, Rapid Strike. And what it'll do, it'll pop up this. And now, what you have to do is you click, do you want to keep it or do you want to ban it? All right. I want to ban Urshifu. So now it says that I have voted to ban Urshifu. All right. And then you guys have 1 week to figure out what mons we're banning from this draft. As of, and I'll post this in the announcements. Next week on the 30th at 11:59, or right after 11:59, this will close, and you'll no longer be able to suggest or vote on bans. So please make sure you guys are diligent in putting up what mons you think should be banned and what mons you shouldn't, and make sure you vote accordingly. Now, where you guys are supposed to argue about this is in ban discussion. All right, you got to talk about who you want banned, who you don't want banned. Maybe try to convince other people to do some voting, whichever way, right? So, say Chris really thinks Urshifu should be banned, but like AJ doesn't. Those two can start a discussion on why they think Urshifu should or why Urshifu shouldn't. That all happens here. I'm okay with some arguing. I'm okay with some heated discussion. What I'm not okay with is being disrespectful. Remember, we did agree to some rules before jumping in this server. We make sure that we are all respectful of one another. And that we're not targeting or being mean or, this is just for discussion. I don't want to have to like break it up or silence the channel for a little bit for people to cool down. All right. But that's what this is for. But yeah, with that, I think that's all I have to show you for now. Any questions? Post in, you can either DM me or post in general. And have fun voting. Peace.